Okay, this is the part 3 tutorial for the Mac Apple platform, and part 3 is compressing your file down to a small enough size that TK20 will accept. TK20 has a 100 megabyte file size limit, and so we use a compression software program called Handbrake that will allow us to compress it down to less than 100 megabytes. So the process that we'll be going through here, just to review, originally you would have recorded your teaching event on your camera. You would have transferred that file from your camera to the computer, and then moving that recording into iMovie to edit or trim it if necessary. It's not required that you trim it, but if you had some extraneous material at the beginning or the end of your clip that you didn't want to include, you could bring that into iMovie and trim that off. This tutorial is focusing on the compression of the file using Handbrake compression software, and then once you have it compressed, you're ready to go. You can upload that to TK20 for your reviewers. Okay, and so from there we're going to launch our browser, and we're going to go to Handbrake, handbrake.fr. And you will notice that in the upper right section of the screen there is a tab or a link that says Downloads. Go ahead and click on Downloads. And then you'll notice that we have downloads for various operating systems, the Mac OS, the Windows platform, Ubuntu, and a couple others. But in the lower left hand corner, if you look at the very bottom, it says Old Releases. We need to go to a specific version of Handbrake. And in these old releases, you'll notice that we have downloads here. We've got Handbrake version 10.0, and then 9.9, 9.8. And we need to just scroll down to Handbrake 0.9.5. And there's a specific feature within that version that we need you to use, and that will make the process so much easier for you. So you want to download the version of Mac OS X that is at the bottom of that section. So Handbrake 0.9.5 Mac OS X 5 GUI x86-64, and then disk image is the extension. Click the download section to the right, and that will allow you to download that to your computer. It's going to ask you if you want to save that file, and yes you do, so we're going to go ahead and click save. And you'll notice in the upper right hand corner, as it begins to download, it will tell you how long it's going to take to download. So here it's just about 2 minutes or so. So now that we have downloaded Handbrake to our desktop, you'll see that we have an icon on the desktop for Handbrake 0.9.5 for the Mac system. So go ahead and double click on that so it opens up, and you'll see it's mounted on the desktop, and we now have a window that shows you the Handbrake icon. And if you take that Handbrake icon and simply drag that down to your applications folder in the lower right hand corner of the screen, you can go ahead and install it, and it will be copied to your applications folder. And so once Handbrake is in your applications folder, you can go into your app folder and look for Handbrake, and double click on that, and you'll launch the application. And so once Handbrake opens up, the window will be in front of you, and you can click in the source button in the upper left hand corner of the screen, and then you can navigate to the file that you have on your desktop. And so in my case, I'll just bring up a example file that I have here. And once Handbrake opens up from your source, you'll see it listed in the title menu here, and then down below is a destination field. You want to make sure that you understand where your file is going, so that once you do the compression, you'll be able to find that. So you'll see here that I set my destination location to be my desktop. And so if you need to set the destination field, you can click the browse button to the right of the destination field and locate where you would like that file to go. Output settings just below that should say MP4 file by default. You want to just verify that that is the case. Once your file is loaded into Handbrake here, if you notice there's a series of tabs that run across the center of the screen. We want to make sure that in the video tab, you'll notice on the right hand side of the video tab section is the top option is target size. That is the key feature that we need you to use with this version of Handbrake, and that's why we've asked you to specifically download this version of Handbrake, because the newer versions don't include this target size feature. Since TK20 has a 100 megabyte file size limit, we're suggesting that you click on target size here so that radio button is activated, and then over in the text field to the right of target size, you simply type in 80. 80 will constrain the file compression size when it's done to 80 megabytes in size. That gives you a little extra wiggle room, knowing that the TK20 file size limit is 100 megabytes. So go ahead and set that target size to 80, and then you'll notice in the upper left hand corner of the screen again, just to the right of source, it says start, and you can simply click on start and it will begin to start compressing your file. You'll notice in the lower portion of the screen gives you a progress bar. I've got a much shorter file size, so it's going to go much quicker, but once the compression is complete, you'll get a message saying you are done. And once you have that compressed, you can go ahead and take that file and upload that to TK20, and you should be good to go.